Let's go back to then. Promise that was made from Barack Obama, the worst president of my lifetime, bar none, not even close. He said that the individual mandate, and for those of you who are new, it's a tax. That's what it was. It was basically if you didn't buy health insurance, many Americans chose not to buy health insurance. Some couldn't afford it, but many chose not to. It was a tax. It was a punishment. But he said, no, this is a mandate. It's not a tax. But if you don't buy health insurance, you're going to have to pay this mandate to the government as a penalty. But it's not a tax.
You were against the individual mandate during the campaign. Under this mandate, the government is forcing people to spend money, fining you if you don't.
That's not true, George. For us to say that you've got to take a responsibility to get health insurance is absolutely not a tax increase. What it's saying is that we're not going to have other people carrying your burdens for you, any more than the fact that right now everybody in America just about has to get auto insurance. Nobody considers that a tax increase.
Okay, two quick things. We're not going to, we're saying that they shouldn't have to burden it for you. And then they also said that all insurance companies had to accept people with pre-existing conditions. So that's exactly what happened. If you were a fit young American who took great care in your health, well, you were paying for people with diabetes who were massively overweight, smokers, all of that, because insurance companies could no longer deny pre-existing conditions. The other thing is they used to make this comparison to auto insurance. And back then, people like us were saying, well, that's not valid because you don't have to drive. You could just, you're not penalized if you don't get car insurance if you don't drive. For example, many people in New York, some people, they carpool. To live in this country, period, if you are working, you would have to pay this tax, period, because everyone needed to pay into healthcare. It's not like you could opt out. There were religious exemptions, and that created a whole cottage industry. But if you don't purchase car insurance, you just don't drive. In the United States, if you say, well, I'm not purchasing health insurance, you're going to pay. And by the way, that brings us to now. The Supreme Court ruled that it absolutely was a tax, and President Trump gutted the tax to $0.